Is it World War III yet? First up, the latest news about Iran. The U.S. president has said that we have a big decision to make on Iran. Indirect talks between the U.S. and Iran have been mediated by an Oman representative, and they have concluded recently. And so Trump is not excited about what he is hearing from these discussions. However, the Oman representative did want to cite the fact that Tehran agreed that it will no longer stockpile enriched uranium. And what this basically means is they would never have enough material to create a nuclear weapon. And so some suggest that this is exactly what Trump is asking for, but in reality, it isn't. Because what Trump is asking for is a complete stop to the enrichment of uranium. No more development, no more exploration, no more research of any kind. That is not what this phrase is saying. It still leaves the door open, a crack, if you will, for them to continue down that path if they so desire. Sometime in the future, when the Trump administration and a Republican Party is out of power and we get a soft Democrat in place that continues to kick the ball or the can down the road. For example, Trump cites the fact that Iran came out and said that they have ICBMs already. They have ballistic missile capability to reach the United States. Now, the intel community has come out to refute this, and rightfully so, because there's zero evidence other than their statement. But they do assess that they could reach this capability by 2035. So, again, another can getting kicked down the road. People like to cite the JCPOA as some sort of grand agreement, some sort of grand treaty that was reached back in 2015. But the majority of that treaty or agreement would have ended in 2025. It is now 2026, so it's completely irrelevant at this point that Trump pulled us out of it, or that they didn't even honor the agreement a few years in. It was a garbage agreement that came with additional funding sources that allowed Iran to be at equilibrium with Saudi Arabia and also allowed them to fund their proxies, which ultimately led to October 7th. Now, some people want to say, well, it was because of the Abraham Accords, but regardless, none of that would have been able to happen if it wasn't for the billions of dollars that the Obama administration gave them. On top of that, so what if it was because of the Abraham Accords? Those were for peace, trade, economic security, and here you have a proxy group hell-bent on the destruction of a sovereign nation. So none of that made any sense. It was a terrible deal to start, so people should really stop referencing it as any kind of gold standard, because it wasn't. Now, on my YouTube channel, you can go to a video I recently posted there that TikTok wouldn't allow me to post here and check out some initial scenarios that may unfold in the next day or week, or maybe never. Moving on, Trump also suggests that the U.S. could carry out a friendly takeover of Cuba. And the reason why he said that is because Cuba is in dire straits, thanks in large part to the Trump administration. The Trump administration has systematically blocked off all fuel aid to Cuba, and that was a few weeks ago. And so now they are down to probably fumes at this point. There's probably nothing left. On top of that comes other shortages like food and other supplies. There's nothing really the Cuban government can do except for maybe accept the U.S.'s offer, as the U.S. has allowed a limited resale of Venezuelan oil to Cuba. It's a very stick-to-carrot approach, likely to open up dialogue with the Cuban government, but ultimately for them to capitulate, because I believe the end goal here is to basically conduct a regime change here as well. For those that keep saying that Venezuela was a once and done, the decapitation strike, the arrest of Maduro did nothing, and that the cartels were still in charge and they were just replaced by his vice president, they must have missed the part where the commanding general of Southcom paid a visit to Venezuela as they started opening up diplomatic channels in the preparation to open up a U.S. embassy. Just because military action can take one day doesn't mean that the transition will also take one day. It's going to take weeks, months, maybe this entire year or more to transition Venezuela from control of the cartels to the control to the people. But that is exactly why she is being referred to as a transition president. For some reason, Pakistan is in open war with Afghanistan. I honestly do not care, but I figured I'd talk about it for a brief moment. Pakistan conducted strategic airstrikes into Afghanistan. Here are the locations depicted on the map, and basically the foreign minister or the defense minister of Pakistan said that their patience, their cup of patience has runneth over. But basically, this is the Taliban biting off more than they can chew, and now they are asking for there to be some sort of peace talks, that they do not want to go to war with Pakistan. Go figure. And in China's civil-military fusion concept, they continue to deploy thousands of fishing boats off Japan's coast, and they are not there to fish. This maritime sensor data shows that they are in a coordinated blockade maneuver on the high seas. They are using hundreds and thousands of their vessels, and clearly showing the straight vertical line and horizontal line here of a coordinated maneuver to present multiple layers of a blockade. Easily seen as an intimidation tactic now, but obviously would be used as a defensive tactic if ever they needed to disrupt naval vessels from the U.S. and Japan in case of a Taiwan assault. And I guess we'll touch briefly on Russia and Ukraine. Nothing much here has changed. Russia continues to launch hundreds and thousands of drones and missiles into key infrastructure points into Ukraine, and the war drags on. We are now past the fourth year, and there seems to be no end in sight. I'm Anto Guy, and if you made it this far, thank you very much. Thank you to my followers. I will also be posting this on YouTube and attempt to make more content for YouTube because TikTok sucks. Have a good day.